Welcome to Fix My Ship, the place where we navigate through the storms and calm the waters of every kind of relationship, whether it's family, friendship, dating, marriage, or even workplace connections. No matter the issue, we believe every ship can be repaired with the right tools. We hope you enjoy this episode, and if you do, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you never miss a chance to grow with us. Let's fix some ships together.
I know you
No, I ain't shy.
Welcome to another episode of Fix My Ship, where we are unscripted and unrehearsed. And I'm here with another one of my friends, and we done kidnapped her husband to make him join us. So y'all go ahead and introduce yourself.
Good morning, everyone.
You say whatever you want to say, whatever you want to be called, because I don't call names, period.
Good morning, everyone. I am the evangelist, and I am here. You want to introduce yourself, Reverend? That's the Reverend, y'all.
What's up, y'all? This is Randall Eugene, host the second.
Oh, you get your whole name.
He said he is who he am. Okay.
I'm just here for a little bit, and I'm gonna let them two have it.
Okay.
Oh gosh, so she, the evangelist, has been very excited about doing an episode since I told her that I was making these episodes on my YouTube channel. She fussed me out for not telling her 2 seconds after I made it. She one of those friends, and her sign is Leo. I know we ain't talking about nobody's signs, but she a Leo. She an August Leo, if we gonna leave it at that, because you know the Saints don't like to talk about signs. It's the cross.
I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry.
What?
Be dignified, man.
I ain't being nothing. This is my show.
You right.
They don't like it, they can turn it O-F's to the F.
Squeeze me.
Child, anybody studying them. They nosy anyway. They gonna still be right there watching.
I'm eventually. I've listened to all of the episodes already. So just to let y'all know,
Gosh.
this is a long time coming. So I'm super excited. Super excited.
And so why are you excited to be doing your own episode? Because I didn't ask her. She volunteered.
I sure did. I'm excited because we were a product of her ships. Like, we've gotten counsel and guidance. So for me to see it actually come alive and to be able to share it on a platform, it's exciting for me to see. You know how you say, I have friends. I'm the friend who really celebrates. And how do I celebrate? Like I said, I've listened to all of the podcast, all of them, and commented on all of them. That's the excitement. When you see somebody and you know what they can do, even though they were delayed, to actually see it come to pass for me is super exciting. So that's why I was like, yeah, let me get in on this, because this is exciting. And I wanted to make sure I was a part of it.
Listen, y'all, when she says she is the friend that loves to celebrate and will celebrate, she will celebrate, be your biggest cheerleader, but she is your only friend. You cannot have no other friends. And while I got her husband here, we're going to talk about that right now.
Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord.
Listen, he could not say that we was his friends for a long periodically time, because we were her friends.
They were my friends first, okay?
Oh,
I allowed him to share in this friendship. These are my friends.
Now they married now. The two shall become one. Not thrice. The two become one. And we were her friends. I mean, they had a whole argument about this.
I'm very territorial.
She went off.
Very territorial.
Would you, Reverend, would you?
Well, first of all, I just want to say that I'm super proud of you for starting this.
Thank you.
I appreciate and thank you, and Big Bro, for counseling us when we needed counseling, and y'all wise counsel helped us through some tough times.
Mm-hmm.
So y'all click, tag, share,
yes,
subscribe.
Yes.
This, I think this is gonna really take off for you. And as far as that, yeah, like she said, my wife is very territorial. I said we won, so they my brothers and sisters now too. They my friends. So
y'all should see her face right now. She's still
she's a character. If you don't know who she is, she's a character.
Go on now.
Make you laugh. Very churchy. But you know, it's good to have friends and accountable partners that we look up to. That's, you know, big bro and big sis, and you know, they get in our behind when we wrong, and they tell us when we right. And you know, fix my ship. I think this will be a monumental thing, because not only is it gonna help marriages, but it's gonna help, you know, people in the courting phase, people that's going through in friendships, whatever you're going through with your family. You know, just listen to the nuggets and take it and apply it. And I'm proud of you. And I'm gonna leave this to y'all and going on about my day, but we'll do something else another time.
I told we gonna get the husbands together. They be acting like they don't want to talk, but they be talking behind our back.
See you later, babe.
They be talking behind our back. Ain't none of that smooching on my show.
I love that. I love that.
He's so happy to go right now, y'all. He is running. He can't even pick up his stuff quick.
He is tearing up out here.
Not skid marks on the towel. Nah, come on down.
Go on, Reverend. He is gone. Ooh, child.
Oh, Lord have mercy. So again, I don't know what we gonna talk about. You did say you had some things on your list. I ain't even gonna say all them titles that you had, because I ain't like some of the titles that you had on there. But well, we can talk about all of it now. Though, but
yeah.
I don't know. I just tell everybody I didn't think that me starting Fix My Ship would be me starting out with all my friends.
Yes. I'm glad it did start out. That means we made the cut for friendship. So yeah, I'm glad we listen. We made the cut for friendship.
You glad to be in the number?
Listen, we made the cut. And, you know, I know she take her friendships and stuff very seriously.
Yes, I do.
We made the cut. Okay?
I do.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh my goodness. So do you want to start with y'all, you know, both of y'all being very grateful of us assisting in y'all relationship. First of all, how long you been married?
We have been married, we're 8.
No,
we're 7. We're
already?
7. We're 7.
7 already?
We're 7.
Okay. All right.
Blessed number 7. We're 7 years in. We didn't have a long courtship. We were only engaged a month. And we got married a month later. When it's God, it don't take all day. That's just me.
Okay, and how long y'all knew each other? Because I don't want people to think y'all met,
okay, yes.
You know, that was the short end of the story. Because they're going to be like, oh, what?
I know we all can work fast, but we've known each other since we were teenagers.
Okay.
His dad has a church, and I joined with my mom as a teenager. I believe that was back in like 97. So we knew each other from high school. I mean, from when we were in high school at church. Mm-hmm. So then, long story short, graduated high school. I moved away to go. I actually was, this is my second marriage. So I actually went away, got married, had a child, all that good stuff. And then we all came back to the same church. Mm-hmm. But at that time, my husband was in the Navy. So it wasn't like...
Your who?
My husband.
Your husband, okay.
Yeah, he was in the Navy.
Mm-hmm.
So he wasn't there when I was there with my ex-husband and all of that stuff. So we've known each other since about 97.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah. So do you want to share anything? I don't know what we're going to end up talking to the husbands about. But do you want to share anything? Because I have just one story that just sticks in my head when we was helping y'all.
Go ahead with the story. Come on.
It was the first time that y'all came to the house. And the Reverend had scheduled a little meeting or whatsoever. And you was like, I'm coming, I'm not coming, I'm coming. All right, fine, I'm going to come.
Listen, he went and told on me. Let's just say he told on me.
And when you came to the house, you said, I'm not doing this. This is over. I don't want to be here.
I am done. Listen here. Stick with, like the kids say, they cook. I'm cooked. Mm-hmm.
You came in the house to end the whole marriage.
I sure did. I was ready for a war on all them. They had an intervention. I said, what in the ham sandwich?
I'm sick of you. I'm sick of you and you. Y'all don't listen to him.
Listen, I'm telling y'all, I was ready for war. Ready for war. Yeah.
So what was that like? So we got to get into the specifics of anything while we were there, but unless you want to share, because that's your business. But to me, I was just so tickled that it was like, how dare you? Well, look, how dare you call my friend?
Listen. First, I told y'all I couldn't believe. I was like, did he really just tell on me to my friend? These are my friends, and you had the audacity.
And y'all at least was married. This was during COVID, so this at least y'all been married at least like 3 years at this point. Yeah. But we were still just your friends.
I told y'all I'm territorial. Okay. When I'm with you. Down like 2 flat tires.
But he with you, so we was his friends because he with you, and he accepted us.
I could have got a heads up or something. He went and told my friends on me. Like, you was not going to sit here and tarnish my good character. No, sir. Not happen, not gonna. But needless to say, I came in there a ball of fire and ended up crying like a whole baby and all kind of stuff. Needless to say, we still together. We still together. That was like the intervention that was needed. And then we had sessions after that. And we were actually seeing a marriage counselor, but for some reason he wasn't, I don't know, receiving the counsel from the marriage counselor, who didn't know, like, she didn't have a dog in the fight, you know, she was a neutral person. But once we came over to daughter and brother,
deacon,
then that's the deacon. He was deacon for real, huh? Once we came over here, then it was received, and then of course we were still bumping heads and stuff, but eventually had to apply what we was receiving, the good nuggets. So I was very thankful for that, because what he didn't receive with one person, he was able to receive with them. And you know, it's hard to get a man to go to counseling. So
I'll tell you the other side of that. So how I found out that he wanted us to assist or whatever, you know, just help in any kind of way. Mm-hmm. He called Deacon, and he was Deacon called me and he said, well, they want Reverend called and said, mm-hmm, they would like to sit down and talk to us, mm-hmm, you know. And the background from that was he watched our lives, because mm-hmm, y'all know our story or whatever, yeah, how we have our blended family. Mm-hmm. And he felt like, okay, we could help in some kind of way, because you all also have a blended family. So yes, if nothing but for that, yeah, you know, he was like, at least he wanted to give that a try. And fortunately, but unfortunately, I tried to get counseling and therapy for me and Deacon, mm-hmm, and couldn't get it. Mm. You know, and I had made requests to people to give me a couple of referrals, mm-hmm, and there was no response. And that's when God told me, no, ain't nobody going to get the glory out of this. Mm-hmm. I'm going to get the glory out of this, and I'm going to be the one to fix y'all ship. Yeah. And we just had to fix our own ship on our own. There's still a couple of little patches in there, but whatever. So I think what I find, and it probably would not have worked for us, mm-hmm, when you go to school for something, you have rules that you have to follow. Absolutely. So I think that's where therapists, unless they got that other spiritual side or whatever, mm-hmm, they end up meeting that fork in the road where they can only help you so much, right, or they're going to cross the line for whatever their license, certificate, right, whatever it is, mm-hmm, they can only help you so much. Right. So for us, I'm like, one, I'm not trying to say I'm no counselor. If you want to come and watch me because I live the life that you, mm-hmm, say you feel that I could give you something to make you put your head back on straight, yeah, I don't have a problem with that. And I think that's why we're able to help people, because it's like, okay, now let's talk about this for real. Yes. So you said what, and they said what? Mm-hmm. Okay, so what's the problem? Yeah. But they said that. Okay, so what's the problem? Mm-hmm. Try by. Mm-hmm. So I don't think therapists could make it that blunt and short in that way. So what do you think, and how does it make you feel? Mm-hmm. So sit here and tell Reverend, mm-hmm, how you feel. But no, let her finish now. Yeah. You know, y'all gonna cut each other off. Go ahead. Okay, well, let's see what you really. Okay, yeah, mm-hmm, this what it really be like. Oh, we gonna get on a little heated. Ooh, you hear what you said? You think we need to make them stop now? Get it out. Get it out
your chest. Yes.
So like I say, I don't know. They may have certain rules, be like, don't let them argue. Don't let them argue. Go ahead. Because y'all ain't finna tear up our house. It's what y'all not finna do.
I know that's right. Mm-mm.
So that was the other side of it. So for either person, and even, you with your journey, you've done things to improve yourself. But to be able to say that, yes, I want to get some kind of help and try to reach out to somebody, that's still a big step to say, whether it's the man or the woman. I don't think it's a bigger thing for a man to say or a bigger thing for a woman. But for any person to say, we need help, that's says a lot in itself.
Right. Absolutely.
So, I think you wanted the help. It was just you was mad that it was us. And it's like, I'm not doing this with my friends. It wasn't even about it not being our business. It was just like, why you ain't tell me? Right.
I was just caught off guard. Like, really caught. And I'm a person, I like surprises. But that was a surprise I didn't like.
But you knew you was coming over there for it. You had done drove over there the whole time. Well, I'm gonna tell them nigga.
When I get there, me get this off my chest for all them. Yeah.
All us was canceled. I'm surprised you ain't canceled us. you was willing to cancel Reverend.
Listen.
I don't remember everything you said, boo. And I said I would crack it up on the inside. I said she is really mad.
I mean, I was humongous mad. I wasn't even big mad. I was humongous mad. I was mad.
Ooh, then you talking about I'm leaving and we all sat right there.
And they ain't unbothered. I think that's the part that made me hot even the most. Because you would think, oh no, Trina, just sit down and just
bye.
Listen, let her go.
Or maybe she was too nosy. She said, well, y'all gonna talk about me after I leave?
I'm gonna see what y'all got to say. Just stick around for a little bit.
So ain't nobody gonna come stop me?
Nobody gonna?
No.
Okay. All right.
No, bye.
No, we ain't.
Have a nice day.
Good evening. Good evening. Lock the door when you go out.
Because I think you was in the den. You made it to the kitchen. I said, if she make it to the exit of the kitchen, I said, then I get up.
Woo.
And then, I gave you a little bit. So you was like, yeah, and another thing.
I had to come back and give my 2 cents.
I was like, girl, is you going to sit? I said, because you would have kept on walking out the door. Now, what is we doing?
Listen.
The madder you got, the more you inched on back in the den.
I had to give my story. And I just couldn't believe he told on me. Y'all hear me? He told on me.
Oh,
you
God.
You don't tell on me. He's my friends. Don't do it.
Say hour.
It's ours now.
Oh, okay.
I'm learning to share. I've learned to share.
A little bit.
I've learned
a little bit.
Yeah. I've learned to share.
So I don't know. What do you? Lord Jesus.
That was just so interesting. Like, wow.
A lot came from that though, and then y'all kept coming back.
Yeah, we had sessions. It wasn't like a one time. Oh, he just told on me, and then that was it. We had actual sessions
and a lot of phone calls.
Yeah, a lot of. I think at some point I felt like we was draining y'all. Like it was like, oh God, because it was just new. It was new. It was very new. We were blended. We was just, oh my God, just so much stuff going on, and yeah.
So what has changed since then? What have you?
I feel like a lot has changed. I feel like we grew up. I've learned to pick battles. So everything, like now, everything is not an argument. It's like, you know what? Yeah, we can have that, or she can have that, or, and then a lot of stuff that we went through. We've been through some deaths. We've been through some major, life altering, like health challenges for children. And I think all of that stuff brought us together. So it was like, okay, all the other stuff we think, or I had a lot of, resentment. And sometimes I still do overthink. So I was overthinking a lot of stuff that wasn't even a question, wasn't even happening, wasn't even a thought of his. I put that into motion and I ran with it. So that kind of messed up a lot of the marriage in the beginning. We always talk to each other and we tell people, marriage is work. It is really work. And a lot of people, I feel like they want weddings instead of marriages, because like I said, marriage is work. You have to constantly wake up and choose to do this on intentionally with purpose and all of that stuff. So I really do feel like we're in a way better space than what we was when we first started, because for me, I was a runner. So the easiest thing to do when something go wrong, you know what, I ain't got to take this. I'm finna leave.
She's a runner. She's a track star.
I baby had my Nike Shots on. I'm out of here. I ain't got to take this. I ain't finna be dealing with this. I'm gone. And for him, we came from two different backgrounds of marriage. And when I was younger, I didn't want marriage because of how my parents' marriage was. And he came from a household where marriage was great and it was commitment and this and that. So he didn't understand the concept of when something got bad, you don't run. For me, what I saw when something got bad, you exit. For him, it was the total opposite. So we had a lot of that, trying to blend that in the beginning. But I think I can say for 100%, it is way, much better. Much better. Thank God.
Man, you said a whole bunch. I didn't even have time to take my notes. That's why I like to take notes on my phone. I need to get my notepad out. Because you said a lot just then. So we'll deal with the last thing that you said, which was like exiting.
Yeah.
So what is it that you saw in your parents' marriage that made you run?
Okay. So my mom was a runner. When things got rough, my mom left. And my mom, we always, I don't want to say unstable in a negative term, but we moved a lot. We left a lot. My mom went from here to Chicago a lot. So when she get mad at my daddy, it ain't like I'm leaving, I'm going down the street. No, my mama leaving and she going to the Midwest.
No, she just separating herself so she ain't got to get tempted to come back.
Like, she is gone. So anytime something got rough, disagreement or this or that, she left. So for me, that's what I saw. You leave when stuff gets hard. You don't stay there. You don't stick it out. You don't do those type of things. So I learned that. I also learned from my parents' marriage. My mom was the alpha female. So my mom ran everything. So for me, I'm Miss Independent. I got this. I'm going to do this. It's my way. I want it. I. And then going into a marriage, it's like, okay, you Miss Independent, but you have a whole husband now. You can't run him. You can't control him. You can't make him do what you want to do. This is not your child. This is your husband. So that played a big part too, because it was like, okay, we married now. I want you to do this, and I want you to do that, and I want this. How we gonna raise the kids? Cause I've been a parent longer than you, so I know how to do. Yeah.
Oh, so because whatever you do first,
because I got the blueprint of raising kids, because I got the oldest. You know, and there's no blueprint to raising no kids. If that was the case, everybody would have it. We would have trophies and awards on the walls because you raised the kid the best and all of that foolishness. But and then it was hard. You know, I don't want to say with the kids. Well, not with the kids per se. Being that I come from a blended family. I didn't know my father wasn't my oldest brother's dad until I was 14 years old. Because nobody told me. And I ain't know no different. And I found out on a piece of paper. On a field trip form or something like that. So I come from a blended family. So
let's pause right there. What was that like? Especially in the manner, the randomness of how you found out.
It was so random. He was filling out a field trip form for my brother, and it said stepdad. And I looked, I said stepdad. Like how?
Or like you his daddy. Why would you put stepdad? Why are you writing on there?
Like, you've been in my brother's life since he was 4 months old. You're his dad. You're more of his dad than you are mine.
So this was your
older brother. Yeah. And I was like, okay. I don't think we ever had like a discussion or anything like that. Yeah, I was just like how random it was. Yeah, I was 14.
At 14, you know.
Yeah,
you
know
see that
them.
you already know. Did you have a conversation with your mom about that?
Eventually, I did. As to what happened to his quote unquote dad. And what happened? My mom was engaged to his dad.
Wow.
The dad left her, took back the engagement rings, and left. And what did my mom do? She left.
She ran.
She ran to Miami.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't even know what happened to the guy. I'm assuming he's.
Wow.
I don't know. Yeah. So that was like
crazy.
Yeah. So I come from a blended family.
So you said you noticed that your mom ran. So in order for you to know that she ran, what did you see before that to say, okay, we're leaving because this happened?
There's always an argument. Always argument. There used to be domestic violence. So they had that. And then, like, sometimes I'll come home, bags are packed at the door, or my grandma comes down. Once my grandma come down, oh, we finna leave.
Mm-hmm.
That means business. Like, we finna go. So that's how. And then their marriage, it wasn't like a traditional marriage. Like, we were always separate. Like, my mom had her side of the family. My dad had his side of the family. We don't even have a family photo together. Mm-hmm. So when holidays came, all of those things, I go to my mom's side and then I go to my dad's side. I can't tell you when my parents' anniversary was because they never celebrated it. Like, it was so many things that were wrong, and my mind is like, oh, I'm never doing this. Like, ever doing this. Of course, that wasn't the case. But in my mind as a kid, it was like, I don't want no parts of nobody married.
And that makes sense. That's part of it. Ended up becoming trauma for you. And I tell people, I was like, even when I was saying before in one of the other church lady episodes, because for me, whenever people would ask me about marriage, I always saw it as good. The marriages lasted in my family, and I had to stop and think, and I was like, everybody in my family ain't married. Some people did get a divorce. Well, some people were on their way to getting married. My mom, whatever. But the story is the story. My mom then went on a brother and sister trip. This is in their adult life. All of them over 50. So this is COVID-ish time. In the last like 2020 to 2025. Somewhere 2020, 2023 in there. All the brothers and sisters decided they want to be grown and they going on a trip. So one of my uncles was dating this lady that they were dating for over 10 years. Wow. And I guess they finally was like, okay, when we go to Vegas, we gonna get married. Yeah. They did not get married when they got to Vegas. Ooh, no. He was mad because his dogs was barking as they was walking through the airport. What? And he didn't handle the situation well. Wedding was called off. What? Over some dogs. Lord. And that uncle, he had girlfriends for years. So I still saw successful dating relationships or whatever. But I done seen all kinds of sides of that. But that's what I tell people is, I don't know, I guess for me, I process it differently. I learned from all of those people or whatever. But listening to what you said, like this was over here, this was over there, that's why your behind is so possessive. Because see, these my friends. Because when I leave you, they still gonna be.
We ain't sharing. They come with me in the divorce, honey.
Listen, and the type of friends we are, Reverend gonna be there. That's y'all problem that y'all divorced. You shouldn't have introduced us to Reverend. And when we have an event, when the fellowship gets together, the fellowship gets together. You don't get to excommunicate anyone from the fellowship. And I think that was her problem right there. Like, because when it's over, I don't expect to see you at any of my friends and family functions.
My friends, we get together. Okay? Listen.
And we gonna be like, well, you can stay home. And y'all know she not.
Ooh. These my friends. I'm gonna be there all
whatever. Because he's getting invited. So you need to just go on and stay married. Because we here now. If that's your motivation. Because you know you ain't gonna. Oh, so he still gonna come? Yeah, we told him you're gonna be there. Okay. Well, I be there. I ain't gonna stay long. That's fine. That's fine. Y'all should see her face right now. Ooh, Lord. Oh, my God. So, like I said, you said a whole bunch. I wish I could stop and rewind because it's a lot into getting people to realize You are who you are because of the sum total of everything that happened in your life.
Absolutely.
Whether you learned the good, the bad, the ugly,
Absolutely.
you are who you are. And listening to you, I don't know if it's because you realize that or whatever, but I'm like, you either learn to repeat what it is that you saw, whether it was good or bad, or you're gonna have to stop if you don't want the same results.
Right.
So,
Right.
what do you want to say to people that may have seen those things? Because you even brought up the whole thing of domestic violence. So it's like, what do you say? What do you
Well, to people in jail, like if you're married,
like don't want to get the ones that don't want to get married.
Okay, so for all the people who do not want to get married, the first thing I had to learn was marriage isn't for everybody. That's number one. Okay. But on the spiritual aspect, marriage is a gift that everybody don't get to have. I know people who are dying to get married, like praying, making marriage an idol to have a marriage. And for me, looking in, I was like, oh my God, I never want to do that. But in my first marriage, I got married at 18. Like, my brain wasn't even fully developed. And I did exactly what I said I wasn't going to do. So I feel like things happen, situations happen, and we all have choices. Those were my parents' choice. They chose to either stay together, be toxic, do X, Y, Z. And I'm pretty sure if you ask them how their parents' marriages were, then it'll make sense with them also. But I would say don't count marriage out. That's what I would say. And then also, if you are a selfish person, if you don't like to give, if you don't like to serve, if you don't like all of those things, please don't get married then. Because marriage is a selfless thing. There are some moments where you do have to, take care of self and do all of those things. But it's going to call on you to be very giving. Very, very, very giving. Especially if you have children and all of those other type of things. But needless to say, I am glad that I was able to be gifted a second time around to be able to be married again. So I do thank God for that.
And that's what that was my biggest thing, especially in people that get married that second time. And it's like, I know you ain't get married the second time to get no divorce. Right. So it's like, does it come because you don't have that total healing? You didn't learn from your mistakes? Like, what is that like to find yourself that second time now saying, man, I'm about to end this? Yeah. And I like, how did you get to where you say, okay, I'm gonna do it again? And you know what I'm saying? All of that.
I think for me, the second time when I realized, it was like, oh shoot. I always said to myself, when I got divorced the first time, I always said I still believe in marriage.
Okay.
That was my mindset. Okay. That marriage didn't work, and I chose to end that marriage. Okay. So I want to put that out there. Not to speak on him, but at that time, when the situation happened, I was willing to work at it, but then something took place, and I just had an epiphany. I was like, you know what? I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. And when I made up my mind that I didn't want to do it, nobody could tell me nothing. Baby, I was done. And when I'm done, I was done. So I ended that marriage, and I was okay with ending that marriage. I think what messed me up was I thought I was healed, but I wasn't until I got into the second marriage.
Oh no, we're gonna pause right there. Yeah. What is that? I be telling everybody, get rid of your thoughts. Get rid of your thoughts. You know how I be with that mind. What you mean you thought?
I was doing a comparison thing.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I was comparing the current husband to the first husband, which is an absolute no.
In all relationships.
Don't do
all
that.
Relationships.
Do not hear me. Do not do that.
Because you don't want that done to you.
Listen.
Oh my God. Them fighting words.
Listen.
Fighting
Give me
words.
the paper and let me sign, because clearly I'm not what you want.
Oh
do
my God.
not do that. You cannot compare them. Apples and oranges. If that was the case, go back to the first one and be happily ever after.
Amen.
Go on. You free to do that. That's number one.
Jesus.
So I had to learn that the hard way. Number two, men value respect over love. I had to learn that as well. Just they wanted to say something about that.
For comparison, my big thing on that is, even if the person shows you what the last person showed you, don't assume that their response is going to be the same thing. So sometimes you may see a thing and be like, I remember this from the last one. Because I tell people, your memory, God gives us a memory for a reason.
Absolutely.
So you learn from those things. That's why it's called wisdom. So I'm like, it's okay if you see little things, you put your guard up a little bit. Yeah. But when you go to the point where, because they did half of what the person did, and you assumed it was going to end the same way, and you react before they got to do their action, that's when you start having problems.
Ooh.
That's what I want to say about that comparison. Because it has you drawing conclusions that you shouldn't be drawing.
Exactly.
So go
so
ahead.
do not do the comparison thing. I do not care. Don't compare. Yes, that rhymes, but that was one thing. Also, like I said, we have a blended family, so there we have, like I say have, because we still currently have it. We have baby mama drama. And for me, that was hard to deal with. That was very hard to deal with because I didn't know how to adapt to that. So we had that. And then we just, like I said, we just came from different backgrounds from the way we were raised. That side of the family is very, very family oriented, like extremely. You have something, they showing up, they coming, cheerleading, yelling, screaming, and then my side is just like, oh, okay, all right.
But that side, from what you're saying, that side of the family showed that's how you are. Yeah. So they did that, but it just wasn't one person that did it for him. You see, because I'm listening to you, I'm like, okay, you saying they showed up, you show up. You know, you that cheerleader for everybody. You just didn't have that whole village to be able to be your cheerleader. So it's like sometimes you so big on this me, mine, and whatever that you're not even understanding the opportunity that you say, oh, I'm getting a whole nother family that not can cheerlead for me.
You have to learn how. It's hard when you ain't used to it. It's hard to adjust. I had to learn. You have to wait.
And it'll make you jealous. And I'm not saying that we had any conversations like that, but sometimes it's like, well, dog, they mama and they sisters and they brothers, you know, they daddy show up for everything. And it'll cause a little bit of just natural resentment, you know, on that human side of us. Like, dog, I wish I had that.
Right.
Like, man, this is what that looked like. This is what I could have had now in my adult life. And sidebar, y'all, her mama and daddy, I know both of her parents, and they be you hear something, and they be real cute together or whatever and stuff.
Devil is a whole lot.
So her mama and daddy get along. Too. They get along very well.
They get along great. Like, listen, I don't know. I am an advocate for them being apart. Like, they are when I say the best grandparents, everything. I feel like everything we didn't get or I didn't get as a child, my kids get in an abundance. Like everybody got McDonald's money and Starbucks money.
Well,
that's grandparents in itself.
They have Five Guys money now. You know.
They are super affectionate. I'm sitting there like, is these the same parents I grew up with? Like them two right there? Okay, all right. Look, I guess I do. I'm in my feelings. I'm taking my mama to Dr. Phil's because I'm in my feelings. But so it was a big adjustment when we got married. So it wasn't easy. I would not sit here and say we was skipping through the tulips, holding hands. It was like, wait a minute. What did I just sign up? Did I just really sign up for this again?
And did.
You know, I really did. Okay. And like I said, you think, at least I thought, because I didn't get remarried until, I got divorced 2010. 8 years later. So I'm thinking to myself, self said, what? I've felt like I detoxed. I got everything out. I ain't mad at my ex. I ain't beefing. We don't have no problems. We raising these children. It takes a village, all us, like, and for some reason, I still was holding on to anger towards him that I didn't know I had until I came in this marriage. So eventually I had to get a counselor on my own because I had like a lot of childhood trauma and all of that stuff that played into all of that over there that I had to get fixed. And that I had to work out separate from my husband on my own. So I did do that also.
So knowing what you know now, could your first marriage been salvaged, knowing what you know now?
I would say no.
Okay.
I didn't want it.
Okay.
I felt like, do I gotta tell them what happened?
No, that's
Oh.
you share whatever you want to share.
Okay.
So I just and I talk to people wherever they're at, but these are questions that I be like, you know how you say, okay, now that I've grown up, and you know I could have worked on that a little bit more or whatever. Or it's like I know what I know now. I know. No, I was good because blah blah blah. You know, so like I say, that's on you if you want to share that. But I think I just feel like that was a good question to ask. You know, and people be like, dang, yeah, I could have tried one more time.
Because like I said, I was trying. And then a situation just occurred and I had to stop and I said, wait a minute, this is finna be my reality. I can't live with myself another 18 years doing this. So no.
Okay.
I was done.
So you said a word that is very triggering for me.
Ooh.
Because I be like, I don't like that word or that phrase.
Okay.
And it's baby mama drama.
Oh.
Look at you, the
Oh God. Oh. Yes.
Because I'm like, drama is only drama if we let it be.
I had let it be, y'all, in the beginning. I let it ring be. If I could roll up and give little mama a 2-piece combo, I would have did it, honey. In the beginning, you wanted the smoke. I'm finna give you the smoke, the flames, the fire, the sparks. I'm finna give you everything. So that in the beginning. Now hear my key word. The beginning. Right now I'm an unbothered soul. Carry on.
And this used to be all these phone calls I used to get in the beginning.
Listen.
What do I need to do? Be quiet.
Listen.
Be quiet.
Listen.
But this and this. Be quiet.
Ooh,
but you don't understand. Go back in the house.
Listen.
So my motto is never let them see you sweat. You don't get to take up that much inventory, real estate, or anything. You don't get that energy from me. I don't give you none of that.
I had to learn the hard way, y'all.
Because you were outsider.
That's true.
And you gonna stay an outsider. You come in as far as I say.
Yeah.
You can come in.
Yeah.
Now this is an agreed upon thing, but you over there and I'm is over here.
Ooh, Father.
So what I want to say to all of the girlfriends and the boyfriends, because this is baby daddy, baby mama, we equal on this right here in this statement. But just whatever applies for your gender, apply it.
Yeah.
Wives and husbands need to learn to stay in their place.
Yes. Yes.
Especially when the children existed before you and he or she got together.
I agree.
And I'm going to marinate and pause right there.
Let's pause.
If they existed, these children existed before you got involved with the other parent, relax your nerves.
Yeah.
Because you should have already been trying to figure out what that situation was. Now, listen to what you said, a month here and then a month there and then y'all were together. You know, I don't know how long y'all, by the time he got out of the service and came back, I don't know what that timeline or that looked like, that situation looked like. But I'm like, I think people don't do the proper homework when they are dating. Even if it was just for the month. Okay, so what is your situation like? Why is your situation like? Okay, what are you doing about this? All of those things to just put you in the headspace of where this person is. Am I getting myself in a situation where I'm going to have to fight for this individual? And then it is sometimes where the person that you are with, because you're getting into a more of a structured thing, when you start saying you're dating or getting engaged, getting married, that in itself is going to have its own boundaries. So now I got somebody, okay, I believe in family, and he not with his family. whether it's by choice or by force.
Right.
So we need to let's define which way we going on. So so you're not able to be with your children because it's forced.
Right.
So that's a plus.
Right.
I will hope I'm gonna speak on all us having some kind of sense in this conversation.
Yes.
Because ain't nobody trying to be with nobody that got 2, 3, 4 kids and you just okay and I don't care.
Yeah, that's
F
an
them
absolute no.
and we ain't worried about that because y'all gotta have these real conversations and make sure that y'all be honest, don't lie, tell the truth.
Yes.
And I think we are not asking all of the right questions. So
Right.
now when you're with somebody who does have children, you know, sometimes they're out of state. Okay, they get them for the summer. All right, we know we got something going on pretty good here.
Absolutely.
So did you have any of those conversations or what was that like?
When we initially got together, like dating, whatever the case, the outsiders, ex-husband, baby mamas. My husband has 2 baby mamas. They were on the outside. I was like, we're not gonna, solidify, introduce, and doing all that stuff until we know for sure we're gonna be together. Because I could be a girlfriend, be with you a month, and then I'm
Too
gone.
much investment.
And you did all that. No, one thing about me, when I used to date people, nobody got to meet my kids. I don't care who you were and how long we were dating. If it wasn't going nowhere, you don't meet them 2 that shared a body with me. You ain't meeting them. So once him and I, we got engaged, I was like, okay, now, let's do the introduction. My ex-husband knew who he was already. I ain't have to do no introducing. So that wasn't even no.
It was a little easy on your side.
So it was easy on that side.
Okay.
For his baby mamas, my little son, I'm not gonna say his name. He had custody.
Okay.
He had a custody agreement.
Okay.
Our daughter, bonus baby, there wasn't one in place. So I was like, okay, if you want to, he wanted to introduce us. The mom was, of course, not willing. And I was like, at the moment, I was like, okay, that's fine. She's entitled to feel however she wants to feel. But we're together. So after, he was in the process of getting a lawyer. And then, I don't know what happened, it paused. And then once we got back together, he picked it back up. The process of going to court. Needless to say, he went and revised his son's parenting agreement to get more time, to get a 50-50 split. And then with baby girl, he actually had to go to trial and do all of those things to get an actual joint custody. I always tell him, I always appreciate him because he fought for the children. Like, you ain't finna be with me and your kids over there and you over here think you finna help me raise mine, and you first of all, I don't want to talk to you. So we ain't got nothing to talk about. So the fact that you went to court and I was right there, you fought, and I mean literally fought tooth and nail to get the right that he deserved as a dad. I will always love my husband for that. But needless to say, in the beginning, it was very rough, and sometimes I don't want to say it. She had some health issues, so that's like a whole nother story right there. But he fought. He did what was right, and we were on our way. It's been a whole lot of. For me, it was more so on my part trying to adjust, because you're coming after my husband. So that in itself makes you an enemy of mine. Because you're coming after my husband.
So was she coming after your husband, or was she coming after the father of her child?
I believe she was coming after both. Because they were supposed to be married. They were engaged. So and then to top it off, we have the same name. Like, I felt like I was enemy number 1, regardless. I don't know if I was living the life that she thought she was gonna live. Now, mind you, I ain't had nothing to do with their breakup. I wasn't nowhere in that. I was minding my own business. So I had nothing to do with that. I didn't come in and break up nobody. I felt like it was a lot of control, because the things that probably was tolerated when he was able to see her, it was always on the mom's terms. So if she wanted him to meet her at the park for 2 hours, wherever it was always on her terms.
So let's pause right there, Miss Alpha Female.
Yes. I hope I'm not one of them no more. I really do. I don't know.
Cause you see where I'm going with that. Like, okay. So you should have been able to sympathize with her, no?
No.
Why?
Because you are not allowed. You as a mom, I don't care what that man was to you, he is not that to his child. Mm-hmm. Why are you punishing the father of your child?
But she was still in her alpha state. Why you couldn't help her?
Help her to do what?
Help her to understand that she's not the alpha.
But they was broken up before I got there.
And no, I'm just saying, but now that y'all are here and you're dealing with this situation, how come you couldn't be like, okay, well, let me try to help her out? So just, you understand what I'm saying? Try to work within that alphaness that she had. From one alpha to another.
I felt like, well, once we were supposed to do the introduction of us meeting, she didn't want to meet me. I was like, okay. Then when she wanted to meet with me, it was more so I got to know what type of person she is, this and that. When she wanted to meet with me, I didn't want to meet with her. Because now we married. Mm-hmm. What you want to meet with me for? Now, that's when I tried to know it. She was coming to the house then. Mm-hmm. I was able, my thing is you want me to be able to take care of her, groom her, feed her, do this and do that, but you want to, it's like, I don't want to say, you want to pick and choose when more so, because let's be real, the women are in the house running the house, the men work and they do, it's the moms that are taking care of kids. Right. So now you have a problem with me for what? What is the problem? I tried to do the womanly thing to meet you. Hey, how you doing? I'm X, Y, and Z. I'm blah, 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 blah. I never came in ready. And she ain't doing this. And she ain't doing that. And she don't get to come. It was never none of that. Mm-hmm. Never none of that. But then you wanted to friend request me on Facebook. You want to friend request me on Instagram. You want to do all of this. And, ma'am, no.
I'm just saying, but now she want to meet you.
No. We married now. Why you want to meet me now?
Evangelist.
Because now the court order says she got to come over here.
Evangelist. Mm-hmm. So now she's dealing with her reality of, I guess, if this how it's going to be. And maybe she's telling herself, I ain't going to be in charge no more. So I might as well go ahead and extend the, what they call it, the olive branch. So now it wasn't on your turn. So we gonna alpha our way all the way out.
No, I felt like when we were in court. This the part. I think the part that got me with that was when she wanted to meet. We were in court. Mm-hmm. Your lawyer, my lawyer. We all in the same room. Mm-hmm. We sitting there trying to have the discussion. I'm a person. If I come in the room, I'm gonna greet you. I'm gonna go on about my business. The minute we left, I need to meet her. I was just sitting right across from you. But that was before.
But that ain't the time for y'all to meet. Y'all was in court. That was nothing.
We got that good court order. Oh, and I know one. And I know another thing that probably, I don't want to say probably set her off, but really set her off. I'm the type of person. We wanted baby girl. So when he finally got the court order, say, hey, I get every other weekend. I get this, that. I get that, this. That's written in stone. Mm-hmm. You can't deny this. Right. Now you
got to go back to court after. Okay, so but I think that's reasonable.
Why is it reasonable?
See, y'all see, this is what I'm talking about right here. I'm asking. So now, speaking as an advocate for somebody who say, dog, I just got an L. I'm pretending I'm her.
Okay, you got it. Okay.
I can't believe they done gave these Nigerians everything that I didn't want.
My baby. My only baby.
So now I have to share.
Mm-hmm. You gotta share.
So I guess if this is the reality, let me go ahead and meet her. You ain't think about that side.
The side that I thought about, because of course I'm all in my feelings. Mm-hmm. I don't want to meet you. We got the law. I don't need you. We got the law. The law said 5:00 from school we get to pick her up. Whether you feel how you feel, want to meet me or not, she coming here.
But you said you wanted to meet me, so I mean, we got to do what we got to do as women. Mm-hmm. We need to do it. As black women, I'm trying. I'm still mad, but I'm trying. So this what we finna do? Bet. War on, and that's what you got.
No, I think the war went on when we got the court order. It was time.
I tried to meet you, and this heifer gonna tell me no. ain't gonna be taking my child.
We gotta go to court for you to meet me.
It's out for the alpha.
We gotta go to court for you to meet me.
So okay, explain that part, because I don't.
So we went to court. The judge was like, okay, the what is it called? The shared parenting is going to start today, right now.
I like when they do that. That's what happened over there.
You talking like the smile like the Joker? Today. It starts today. When you all leave this court,
go find and bring her.
So we went to the school.
That's a good judge.
Listen, we went.
Because you done had it for 50, 11 years. It shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter.
And your reasoning that you said you didn't want her to come with us, because they don't know how to comb her hair. When it's time for her to have a period, you gotta
wait.
But she's 3.
Excuse me.
The judge said she has her hair combed.
No. You have children? Yes.
Yeah, I have.
What do you have?
I have a boy and a girl.
Okay, go ahead.
And
so sit down.
Yeah, but those are the excuses we were dealing with. So it was time to pick her up. I feel like it was me. I know it was me. I can own up when it was me. When we went to go pick her up from school, Mom had a bag with clothes and shoes and this, all the trinkets.
They all do
that.
Wait,
I told the people politely, we don't need it.
But they all do that.
But what was if we want the child?
No, you didn't meet with her, so you get whatever you get. I'm on this side over here.
No, I didn't want your stuff.
I don't know what you want because you wouldn't talk to me.
But I don't need your stuff.
But I don't know
we
that.
We just want the child.
I don't know you. My child will have whatever it is she needs.
While we were in that courtroom, she said, I got to go get we told her then.
I don't care. Y'all can't tell me what to pack for my child.
But guess what? It stayed right there. We just want the child.
I understand.
Wouldn't you want me to want
the
child?
But listen to what I'm saying.
Because you ain't going to say I had to send her over there. I had to pay for this. I had to buy this.
That's
I had
fine.
to buy that. You're not going to do that to me.
Whatever you want to bring her with, that's fine. The bag can stay right there at the door.
It did.
Exactly.
And that's
so that ain't even worth. Don't y'all let the question. She don't care what you got to say.
And then, but she ain't hear me.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
I feel like that's another part of control.
No, and all right. So remember, I got this same stuff on my side.
Absolutely.
So for me, she was so bad, and Deacon, I sent 2 shoes. It's only one. No, I sent 2 socks. It's only 1 sock in the bag.
Oh my God.
What about you will get it when she come back on the next one. Oh my God, how did we miss a sock?
That's why I don't want to
I
do
said,
that.
I'm so sorry for you. I feel sorry for him. Because I was minding my business. So you over here doing inventory. You probably done wrote down a whole little list. See, you don't ever think about it on the other side.
I don't want it.
Look, I put one red shirt, 1 pink shirt.
That's why I don't want it.
They got a whole Excel spreadsheet, 32 Pampers or whatever.
That's why I don't want it.
It's fine. Because I'm not going to have no conversation. Just give me the bag and let's go.
I don't even want your bag.
Give me the bag. It's fine. Because see, I ain't going to say the games we're playing now, but anyway. I just be like, I'm trying to help people for where they are now. And it's like, I don't want the bag. Don't worry about the bag. The bag is for her to feel good. I don't care especially if you have a court order, so you can send the bag all you want and talk about. But I sent food every time. The judge don't care, and they be like, "Oh, I sent the bag and it came back with nothing." That was extra on your part. Don't nobody care if you do extra. You need to do the minimum. Because I understand I use on my job. You can't do more until you do the minimum standard. Because if you miss on the minimum and you're doing extra, they cancel each other out. So sometimes I think we get ourselves so caught up in the weeds of things where you're there now, you probably didn't say nothing to her when the bag was brought or whatever, but you felt some kind of way, and that's taking up space in your brain that don't have to. I'm like, child, we didn't go in that bag for nothing. We didn't open the bag. I went through the same thing. Okay, the bag stayed right there. So if you said something was missing, you're lying because you didn't send it. So it didn't even matter. But the thing was, it was the clothes that she had on. So you ain't gonna never get out. They gotta come over there and something. So that's why I be like, child, I don't care. You can send the bag. Then after a while, because I understand, regardless of the person can be the best person in the world, they don't really even have a problem. It's just we here now, and there's no fighting. You're going to have some separation anxiety sending your 3-year-old child somewhere.
She has that. She
without being able to control when you get it. And I'm doing this because I have to. if a bag is a piece of mind, because you don't know, are they going to starve my child? Even with the food that I send in the bag, are they going to feed my child? So if we just going to go on legitimate parental concerns, however, you should be more concerned about all of that before you sleep with the person.
I agree.
So if you going, now you going on with all of that, like dog, you think they not gonna eat, Lord like, Jesus, really? You know? But it's a real concern, you know. So I'm just like, just take the bag gracefully and go down. We don't need nothing. Don't send nothing over here. I don't want it. I left it right. So we eventually got to the point where we were like, don't bring no more or whatever, because she got her own stuff. And so especially for that first visit, I'm not mad that you brought anything. You know, because you don't know what we have. Do we know what size she wear? You know, all of those things. Not that you didn't have the money to go and buy it, but did you have? If you didn't, here it is in the bag. So just to state the plus side, at least you just didn't send her raggedy, because you have people that do that, or you send them with stuff and then they never send your stuff back. So you start getting into all of those other things. So I mean, it's just because you know the person's personality and you and your feel. You have to send this over here because they think they're gonna do that. Child, take the bag, close the door, and say goodbye.
Yeah. Needless to say, y'all, I left the bag at the school, and she was very insulted that we didn't take nothing.
Exactly. So how you say that? You can do your solid little clap back.
Well, I did. I was like, no, I told you back to school. No, it's okay. We got it. We got it.
And she come back and she see the bag.
And that's it. We got a whole. He got a whole thesis statement in a text message as to why we didn't take anything. It's like, man, we don't need. We got it. We capable.
And more than one way to skin a cat.
Yeah. So it was just needless to say, a lot of nitpicking. A lot of, we got like the police called on us for like wellness checks and just a whole lot of stuff I was never used to dealing with. So when you're not used to dealing with things, it kind of hits differently when you start to, because like I said, I wanted to just straight up fight her. Straight up. I don't want to talk to you. I'm going to just hit you when I see you. But I think as years went on, my silence is what killed her the most. Because we would be in the same space, and she was like, this last incident, baby girl had to have some health issues. She has like major issues to the point where she could have died. Like literally could have died. And the whole time, this is how I know there's a God. Not one time I was yelled at, putting me out the hospital room, and not one time did I give her the satisfaction of saying anything. So when I showed up, first of all, my presence annoys you. I'm going to be there. And when I do lip gloss popping, baby hairs laid, I'm going to make sure I look magnificent. Why? Because my presence kills you. And the fact that you tried to talk to us and I wouldn't give you the satisfaction of opening my mouth to speak to you killed you even more.
Now you understood why I said, shut up.
I shut up and have been shutting up ever since. I was like,
I think that was probably the worst advice I gave you all at the same time. Because you were like, well, what you mean? Go in the house. Close the door.
It ain't easy. Especially when somebody coming after the man, and that's what
you do it with wisdom, grace, and a smile on your face.
Hey, how you wear your lip gloss at? Because I'm gonna be me. Whether you like it or that's your problem. Ain't got nothing to do with me.
Nothing. You sit in silence. I'm gonna put on a shirt with wisdom, grace, and a smile on your face. Good morning. How are we doing?
You doing, girl? So that annoys the hell out of you.
Yes.
So now I'm an unbothered soul. I let him handle his business. I only come when I'm summoned. I don't volunteer no more because I'm at the forefront.
No, listen, now once you call me,
I'm coming.
And I show up, don't tell me how to show up.
Don't touch me. Don't say nothing to me.
You called me.
I'm summoned.
I'm here now.
Business finna be handled. Once I'm summoned. I'm
you better.
Okay.
Lord.
So I grew up in those
baby
those
mama
aspects.
Drama.
Yeah.
Listen, so like I tell everybody, baby mama drama does not exist until the other party engages.
Yeah.
There is no drama.
Yeah.
You out there by yourself looking stupid.
Ooh, baby.
Looking stupid. Looking stupid. So
and being laughed at.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm gonna have a discussion with you that it was on my mind once you said something about it. I was like, I'm gonna ask about it. I was like, I don't care.
Okay.
She knows I ask about it.
But
But
God.
your brother.
Okay.
You wanna talk about that?
Sure.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. My little brother.
The one that's
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 it.
me.
Yes. That's him.
Thanks for selling with us today on Fix My Ship, where no relationship is beyond repair. If something spoke to you, challenged you, or helped you see things differently, do us a favor. Like, comment, and subscribe so you stay anchored to truth and growth. And don't forget to share this episode with someone whose ship might be drifting. They just might need this too. Until next time, keep your heart open, keep your mind renewed, and your ship headed in the right direction. Peace and progress.